All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another brand new episode of Tightspot'S Lounge. And it's Summer of Saw Part 2, where we're talking about Saw 3 and Saw 4. And, yeah, it's going to be another spine-chilling episode of Summer of Saw as we talk about Saw 3 and 4. If you guys haven't checked out Saw 1 and 2 for our Summer of Saw Part 1, which is out now on the YouTubes, please do. YouTube, we are up to 30 subscribers, guys. 30 subscribers. We need to get more. So follow that link right there in the chat. So Nick, Knack Attack, what's going on, man? I know it's been a little while. We've been busy. We've been busy in our personal lives. I know I have. I'll go first. I've been looking for a job. Wife's back in the hospital. She's been in the hospital ever since. She has some issues going on, but they're working on them. Still haven't found a job, but working on it. Did get word today from my old job before I went to 2K. They want me to do an interview, go through an interview process again to start working there again. I messaged them back saying, hey, I worked with you guys already. Do I still need to do an interview? They haven't replied back, so we'll see what happens there. But, I mean, honestly, I watched Saw 4. I watched Saw 3. I mean, this movie series that we thoroughly enjoyed, it gets weirder and weirder as the time goes on because of the traps. It gets, convoluted with, not convoluted, but entangled with everybody that we've seen so far in the Saw universe. And you forget about little bits and pieces unless you go back and watch these movies. And I definitely forgot about in Saw 3 how one of the things is you're like, holy shit, I forgot that. But we'll get to that in a few when we talk about the movies. But Knack Attack, how has your 2 weeks been since we've been gone? And any news about anything that you want to make? I mean, honestly, you told me you were gonna do one thing. I don't know if you're still doing it regarding one thing that we normally promote here, but go ahead and talk about life. Go ahead. How's your week's been?
Okay, you can tell my voice is a little better. I've been nursing my throat with some tea and honey and eating some garlic to boost my immune system. I'm on the up and up as far as that goes. If you heard me last episode, I could barely talk. So
Yeah, you definitely had a bad voice, and that sucks. When you do a podcast, you're like, what do I want to say, and I can't say it because I can't talk, But go ahead, Knack Attack. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, we were. I was doing a blog, but I decided to stop working on that. My intention originally was to use that as a side hustle, but I wasn't really getting anywhere with that. I was putting in a bunch of time and effort, and it wasn't showing anything. So just to kind of just relieve some stress on my personal life, I just kind of quit putting a bunch of time and stuff into that.
So Cinematic Lounge is dead, but Tightspot'S Lounge will live on. We will continue with the movies because this is getting somewhere. We're having a lot of fun. I know we pushed the time a little bit back today because I was at the hospital with the wife, but at least it wasn't too late for you since you got to go to bed. You got to have a weekend with the kids and the wife and all the crazy stuff you have to do, like groceries and whatever the kids want to do during the weekend. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I know it's sad to see Cinematic Lounge go. I wish it was still going strong, but shit happens. But anything else, Knack Attack? Any cool music? Any cool game moments that you've had recently in Destiny or any of the games you've been playing?
can't remember if I did this last time, but I did beat Wolfenstein: The New Order.
I think you were on the
Very
verge.
satisfying first-person shooter.
I think you were on the verge of doing that because you texted me that later on last week or so that you did do it. But you also got a cool little ship in Destiny, so that's pretty badass. That you sent me a picture
that
of.
was from I think I got an Ingram during a scout mission, and then I went to transfer back at the tower. It was like, you got this rare ship, and I was like, oh sweet, what's that look like? And we opened it up, and we were like, whoa.
There you go. There you go.
As far as I know, those transport ships are just for aesthetics in the game. Like, I don't think there's any level where you're actually piloting that thing and shooting stuff, but it's still cool looking.
Yeah, it is still cool, and I'm glad that you're you've delving into the video games, which that's cool. I mean that with the blog kind of done, there's more time for you to beat some more games like Lost Planet like you want, or any of the other games you want to touch base on that you've been getting into more recently. No. The dog is being an asshole. She wants my attention because I got home from the hospital.
I've kind of been simultaneously working through BioShock and Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah? I haven't touched BioShock yet. I did get a copy of both BioShock 1 and 2 last month or two, and also BioShock Infinite. I bought it for like total like $12, I think. $12 or $13 total for all three. So I'm gonna delve into those one day I can. But yeah, that's what we've been up to on the gaming front. I've been playing baseball, of course. I want to get into the new season of Fortnite. I know that's a lot of fun. And you know what? Wally's gonna sit here with me because she's gonna be a pain in the ass the rest of the episode. Bless you, Spartan fan. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Spartan fan. We're going to be talking about Saw 3 and 4 here, which Saw 3 and 4 are basically tied in together a little bit, into the point of, the ending of it all, because it can, like, you don't even know until it happens. Because it's pretty fucked up when you see it. Like, oh shit, that detective ends up in the hospital.
Yeah, we're getting into spoilers for this because we have to talk about it proper. Plus, the movie's like 14 years old.
Yeah,
now,
and I'm watching Saw. I'm watching it right now because I fell asleep watching Saw 4 again, because I was watching it late at night and I couldn't remember everything that went on in this movie, but yeah. So let's get to the business. That's why we're here. Talk about the movies, not about our lives. Our lives are really, really all over the place, and it's interesting why we choose movies as a comfort for us to choose and talk about. So, Saw 3 basically starts off where Saw 2 ends off, with Detective Matthews locked up in the room and breaking a toilet top. I guess a toilet top. What is there a porcelain? The porcelain frame, the top of the porcelain frame for the toilet on his leg,
yep.
And
the big lid.
Yeah, the lid. And I'll tell you what. You think he escapes, do you? You think he escapes walking around with a limping leg and bleeding out all over? Who knows? And then we cut to another trap, correct? Am I right? Am I wrong? Is there a trap that somebody gets into that they start off with? Am I wrong? Kind of drawing a blank.
I don't think 3 has a full trap opening.
Yeah. No, we get. Oh no.
Starts with
the
Jeff is the guy's name, with him waking up.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jeff, with the eyeball. The eyeball. Yes. Yes, correct? Yeah. That's what it is. The eyeball. The key in the eyeball.
No, that's from
Which
Saw 2, dude.
that's all too?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fucking drawing blanks. I'm sorry. I watched both of them, and I don't know why I'm drawing blank, but I'm trying to. I know Saw 4 opens with the chain gang, and the and then like Carrie. Okay, so Saw 3, we see Carrie in the trap. They don't find Carrie until Saw 4, right?
Correct. She does, we see her die in this one though, right?
Yes, we see her die in this one, but they don't find her until Saw 4 because Riggs finds her, and then Riggs is all about. It's all Riggs in 4 because there's a tape in Saw 4 that is for Detective Hoffman, and Hoffman is the leader of basically continuing on because Amanda dies in the third one. Because Amanda is shot by the husband of the doctor who's in the neck brace with the guns, the bullets, because Amanda's test was to keep her alive so she survives, but in the end, she doesn't because she's a bitch and thinks for herself. That's all. Basically, everything in all sense. You really don't have to fucking talk about everything in these movies because it all ties together. Because the dad dies in the fourth one because the one detective shoots the cop that shoots the dad in the fourth one.
God, hold on, dude.
Go ahead.
You're like all over the place.
Yeah, I am. I am all over the place. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, you're kind of right. Like talking about the traps at this point in the series is kind of just whatever. That's just the gimmick that ties the main story together.
But they're great
And
traps.
I think the most interesting thing, I guess, Saw 3 is one of my favorite sequels in the series because I really like the deep game that Jigsaw is playing, not just with Lynn and Jeff, but the reveal that the true game was for Amanda.
Yeah.
And I like that we get more backstory. We start to see Jill in flashbacks in this one.
Yep. We do.
I love that they had the balls to straight up kill Jigsaw at the very end of this film too.
Yep.
In fact, they managed to make 4 more sequels after that point too. It's amazing.
It is. It is. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, with him dying in this one at the end, in the third one, it's like, okay, what's gonna happen? And with Jeff being like in the room where he is, Jigsaw's dead, and then the daughter is locked up in a room that Jigsaw could only tell Jeff where she is, but like we lose that. Do we even find the daughter? I don't think so. Do we? I mean,
not till Saw 5 when Hoffman carries her out and pretends to be the hero.
oh yeah. We're talking about damn it's been a while since I've actually sat down and watched these movies. That's why I couldn't remember what happened. But
well, here's where we got to talk about the big twist of Saw 4, which is absolutely brilliant and why I really like that movie. Saw 4 is actually a giant flashback, and it's not revealed till the very end that a good 90% of the film took place at the exact same time as the events of Saw 3. And the way that ending, when they start editing footage of Saw 3 into it, is so great. I love that. So that's why it's hard to keep track of certain things because, especially at the beginning of 5, 3, 4, and 5, it's like all intertwined, especially around the moment where Jigsaw dies.
yeah,
There's a lot of plot happening right at that moment in the storyline.
it is, and it's like, okay, you have to go back and watch these movies, but like for you have a photographic memory of these movies, and you've been, like, I mean, I'm a diehard fan of these movies, but it's like life and shit. But like when you're watching them and you're like, oh shit, yeah, this happens then, and oh fuck, it's all intertwined, and to see like how they pull it all together to make these movies happen, like you said, with Jigsaw dying in the third one, it's great because Like the traps in Saw 2, not Saw 2, but Saw 3 with the whole the girl in the ice, the spraying the water in the cooler, and like the pig with the judge with the fucking slop bucket like thing majig, the that was crazy. And the way Jeff has to, burn all the kids' relics to get the key. Yeah. And then in the random, how you?
That scene was actually a bit of a twist in the series at the time, because like usually no one ever survives the traps.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to rescue someone was actually kind of a neat little twist for that moment. But he dies almost immediately a couple scenes later. So.
Yeah, because of the gun. Because they try to save the kid who actually killed the Jeff's son, which in the end we didn't know Jeff and the nurse were husband and wife until the very end, when they meet up.
Revelation. Like,
yeah.
All the clues are there, but they just it's good. They did that well.
Yeah. What else? And like the traps were fun because it was like, okay, well, see, the thing is for the realization, Jigsaw wanted the one thing Jigsaw wanted people to do were survive these traps. In all honesty, he wanted to help these people make better choices. He wanted them to feel pain, but enough pain for them to live and make their choices, to swerve the life choices around. Because look, Amanda survived. Detective Hoffman survived. For now. Matthew survived. Matthew was supposed to survive, but he dies in the fourth one. And I think where it got all fucked up was because Amanda didn't want people to survive. I don't think Detective Hoffman in the end didn't want people to survive either. Jigsaw.
And I think Hoffman was a bad influence on Amanda. Like if Hoffman never got involved, Amanda probably would have beaten her game.
Yeah. Probably, but like she also succumbed to her demon of cutting herself, as you saw in the third one. She goes in that room, takes out a knife, and cuts her leg, and that was kind of one of the things Jigsaw wanted her to stop doing as well. But
that's why I like 3. There's a lot of character development.
It is. I mean, that's what they needed to do. I mean, with these movies, you just saw the first 2 and you're like, oh, okay, it's all about people surviving traps and everything. But you don't know the real reason why. You don't know what made Jigsaw snap and do these things until, like, these last 2 movies, 3 and 4, where you find out Jill was supposed to have a kid, and then the guy that kills hurts Jill by opening the door and smashing it against her stomach when she was pregnant, and killing the baby, and then that's when Jigsaw was like, "Fuck this, I'm going."
And Amanda was that guy's boyfriend or whatever.
Really? That was.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. When did you find out that?
Yes, I mean, Amanda's in those flashbacks in part 4 at the drug clinic.
Oh, shit. Hey, Chairman of the Board, we're talking about Saw 3 and 4. This is the summer of Saw, our second part in our series. We're talking about 3 and 4. If you have any insight on these movies, let us know in the chat. Our next podcast after this is going to be just 5, right? We're just going to talk 5, right, on the next one?
Yeah. We got to talk about the black sheep of the series.
Yeah, you don't like that one for some reason. You haven't seen... Okay, oh my god. You're not the only one, Chairman. You're not the only one who said that to me this week, all right? Believe it or not, he said in the chat, he said, believe it or not, I haven't seen any of the Saw movies. Well, nope, you're not the only one. Chairman, why for a person who's not watched any of the Saw movies, let me ask you this. What turned you off those movies? And Knack Attack, but since we're fans of these movies, what would have turned you off from watching these movies if you weren't a fan of horror and slashers and whatever you want to call these, like mind-boggling psychological horror films that they are.
It's easy. That's just because a lot of the death scenes involve someone getting tortured to death, pretty much, which is not the easiest thing to watch. So.
Okay. Chairman said, "I'm not a big fan of horror, not a big horror movie guy, so I don't know. It just never appealed to me then to see them." Understandable, and I thank you for stopping by. I mean, it's great to have people stop by the live podcast. While
I definitely don't recommend the Saw series if you're not a horror fan. Although I do say the first one is a bit more of a thriller, just with horror elements.
Yeah.
So the first one's probably worth checking out, but the sequel is definitely take a deeper dive into the horror stuff.
Yeah, because it gets gorier. The traps, like in the fourth one where the husband and wife are like
Literally
impaled
by steel rods.
Yeah, impaled by steel rods, which was interesting because it was like, holy shit, like, all right, so if you pull them out, you survive, but if you don't, you bleed out, and he survives or something. Maybe, I don't know. I think they would have both died because his were hitting main focal points in the body, but also like in 4, the death scene of the
sense, but it's just like, okay, whatever, this is a set piece. So
yeah, the death scene where the guy gets like pulled apart because he doesn't save, like instead of getting both eyes poked out because he was a fucking weird like molester or whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. You know what I mean. If you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, pervert. Wally, you're a pain in the ass. You're not a pervert, but you're a pain in the ass. This is Wally, everybody. You guys should know by now if you guys are a Twitch fan.
I want to recommend Saw 3 and 4 to everybody just because it's so amazing, just the twist of 4 and how it relates to 3, but I can't recommend it if you're not a horror fan because it's really, it's not fun if you're not a horror fan, but you can literally fast forward through all the traps and just watch the Jigsaw stuff, and that's actually a pretty good thriller.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, it is a good
Especially
thriller
as
because
the series goes. I think, even during part 4, even me as a fan of the series is starting to get bored with the traps, but I'm enthralled by the main plot stuff with Jigsaw and Hoffman and all that.
You know what? I'll tell you this. I am too, because I mean I'm not bored with the traps. I think the traps are interesting because I'm like, how the fuck did you get this person set up in here? You know what is gonna happen? Like, I mean, Riggs' storyline was like, you came into his house, you basically, you know, chloroformed him or whatever the fuck to pass him out and set him up in his bathtub, and then you bring in the prostitute, you know, to get her hair scalped basically, and almost try to kill Riggs. That was like, you know what was the point? You know, I mean, yeah, Riggs is a cop. He would have put the prostitute in jail. Like that was the most random person of the whole storyline, I think. But yeah, I mean, like the whole storyline with Jill, and also like how Jigsaw had feelings, basically was a normal human being for a little bit until shit went awry in his life. That is the masterpiece for the rest of these movies, where like you're like, okay, Jigsaw's dead, Hoffman's carrying on, but like when it comes back to Hoffman later on in these movies that have been out for a while, that's when it gets interesting, because it's like, okay, but like also like you're not sure where that ends, because you're like, Dr. Gordon's still alive, because you have
I know, like they were originally intending like 7 to kind of be stretched out over 2 films, but I know 6 didn't make a lot of money, and that's mainly because 5 sucked, so people didn't return for 6. But like they definitely wanted to tell more story than they did.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely getting a little ahead because this is a couple sequels down the road, but yeah, like even in part 7, like I was bored to tears in part 7 by all the traps, but I was giddy whenever it cut to Hoffman stabbing people in the neck. Mm-hmm. That stuff was great. That cat and mouse he was doing with Jill.
Yeah.
That whole plot line. I love that stuff. But yeah, every time I cut back to the trap, especially late in this series, I'm just like, no, boring. Like, I don't care about any of these people.
Well, I know we're getting even more ahead of ourselves, and you haven't even seen Jigsaw, and we're not going to talk about that yet. Jigsaw and Spiral, two different movies you haven't seen yet. And I'm excited for when we get to those movies because you're like, that's interesting. But also, you're going to be interested by Spiral because it's Chris Rock's take on, like, this series. Like,
Yeah.
like,
I heard Spiral's good. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
it is good. It is good because you're in for a surprise cameo that you didn't know who was in that movie. And I'm not telling you who. But you probably already know because you probably already... Huh?
To talk a little bit about the that Saw 4 script I read.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if you Google online Saw 4 screenplay PDF, you should be able to find this. But there's a script for Saw 4 floating around that's an early version of the script, and it's different than what the film we got. It's actually a direct sequel to 3. It doesn't take place at the same time. And actually, Eric Matthews is the one that's having to do the stuff Riggs is doing.
Wow. That would have been interesting. Do you think it would have been made more sense instead of having him locked up like they did in Saw 4?
Yeah, I kind of liked it. There is a moment where in the script that I read where Matthews rescues Hoffman from a trap, but the way the trap is set up, they did it better in the theatrical cut we got of Saw 4, where the reveal of Hoffman is much more surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the script it was like it didn't make sense. It was like the trap he rescued him in, like Hoffman would have totally been killed if Matthews didn't show up to rescue him. So the twist there didn't make sense, but so I like the way they did that better in the theatrical version. But also the way the script opens up, it follows Jeff from Saw 3. He actually goes into another room and meets up with the guy that was sleeping with his wife, and they both end up in this giant blender trap, and they both get like shredded to bits. So that was like a totally different capper to Saw 3. And again, they like totally ignore his daughter. I guess that they were still going to do something with that down the road, but
wow. So that blender thing. Okay. You bring something in my mind. I don't think that ever made
it in any of the films, but there was like a giant blender that Jeff ends up getting chopped up in.
Well, don't say never. Don't say never, because I'm not letting you know what I know already about the other movies. So.
Okay, and also, there is the trap I mentioned for Hoffman was a guillotine trap, which again they didn't use in this movie, but that got carried over to Saw 5. So they're at least like taking stuff from old revisions and saving it for future things.
Yeah, I mean, they have to, because if they added like. I don't know what goes through all these guys, about Boseman's mind and all these other guys' minds that have directed these films over time. But if I ever got to talk to them, be like, hey, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Maybe there's interviews out there, or we haven't. See, if we had more time, like, in life to sit back and look at interviews and stuff from the past, maybe we would know that, but I don't know either. I'm. That it's cool that they did that though, to bring other concepts into these other movies that flow in line, but also they made the series what it is. It is a solid series of movies, of a story that could happen in real life if people I mean, look, we had fucking millionaires go down in a sub and get imploded. So a guy could easily set up traps and kill people like this. But I'm not saying to go out and do that. But it's like this is something that could happen in real life in a sense where somebody snaps. But I think with technology nowadays though, if anything, somebody tried to do a Saw kind of copycat killings, they would get caught. It would be like that. Because human error would come into play a lot. And, like, that person who's doing these, like, killings or these slayings or these mind games, like, the game and the traps and all that, would forget something at a crime scene or do something that would basically alert the police or alert, like, somebody or a detective or somebody and lead them to where, because this is, it's just a storyline, it's a movie, it's but with human error, things like this could happen. Like I don't know, it would be, Jigsaw would be dead by now, and well, in the movie he is, but like in a sense he would have been dead by now. It would never have not gotten this far. I mean, there would be copycats, but the copycats would have gotten caught already too. I know I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry. I'm just rambling on, but also talking about how these movies are made probably how these directors and these writers think, because they're like, okay, what do we want to put in these movies to make it look that damn believable and that damn good?
Yeah.
Right?
Let's talk about that just real quick, because I know it's getting late. But yeah, these were 4 was the last film that Bowsman directed for a while in the series. He came back for he's coming back for Jigsaw, I think. He did, or the one that's coming out this year, Part 10.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I can't remember if he did the other new one or not, but yeah. So Bowsman kind of bowed out. I remember reading somewhere he wanted to be done with 3, but he really loved the twist in 4 that he came back for that. And also with Part 4, that's when writers Dunstan and Melton took over the series for basically all the way up through Part 7, I think.
Definitely.
So you can kind of see a shift in stuff too, because when now, like, Part 3 was the last script he worked on. So there's definitely some. You can tell there's a shift happening between 3 and 4.
You can. I mean, honestly, they could have easily ended it with 3. We could have left it on a cliffhanger, where
3 would have been a perfect way to cap the series. Because it had such a downer ending. Like, they could have just killed Jeff and had the daughter maybe just walk out, but
I mean, but they went another route. They went with option B or option C, and then we have 5, 6, 7, and we have 8, which is Jigsaw, and we have Spiral, and then we have Saw 10, which is coming out this year, which is going to be epic, I hope. I haven't seen any videos for it. I really have, like, looked into who's in the movie or what direction they're going with it. But if they do, like bring in Dr. Gordon or Dr. whoever, I mean, honestly, you have so many different pieces coming together in these movies to guide them to a different direction. We don't know. And we're going to see when it comes out later this year what happens. So I know it's getting late on the East Coast. I know Knack Attack is drawing down in his power of feeling like talking. So let's wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. And I apologize, Knack Attack. I do wish we could talk longer, but we'll definitely get in our next episode in 2 weeks about Saw 5 coming up here in 2 weeks. So, Knack Attack, let's get our final ratings for Saw 3 and 4. What are your ratings, good sir?
I give 3 a 4 out of 5. It's one of my favorite sequels. And Part 4, I give it 3.5. Part 4 is kind of a hot mess, but I love the twist so much and all the character stuff with Jigsaw. So that definitely carries that movie through.
Definitely. So mine for 3 would be 4 out of 5 as well, and 4 as well would be a 3.5 out of 5. Of course, with those like minor like plot lines all over the place, and then you're like, oh shit, like you should remember this from the last movie, and it's cool. It's cool to see like oh shit, they happen at the same time almost, or you know,
I wish there was like a 2.5 hour mega cut of both films together.
yeah,
Like that would be pretty neat.
I think so too. I think that would be interesting. So maybe they could do that. Maybe if they could go back and like you know what they should have done during the pandemic. Some of these directors, I mean, they should. I mean, there are unrated cuts of these movies out there. I don't know if all there are unrated cuts out there, but there are. They should have like put, like you said, 3 and 4 together. Take some time and just put like a director's cut, like a fucking massive movie of 3 and 4 together, like you said, and tie it all in, and that would be like Saw 4.5, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
All 3.5. Like,
yeah, instead of it would be 5. In your mind's eye, I don't know. I have to go back and watch 5. I haven't seen 5 in years, and I apologize for that. But we're going to 5 next show, guys. If you guys haven't seen any of these movies, you guys can pick up a cheap copy of all 8 movies right now. I think at Walmart together for like $12.88. So go to Walmart.com, buy or Amazon. I don't know if Amazon has it. They do, but I don't know what the price is. But go buy a copy. Start watching these movies so you can be a part of this next episode. But guys, tune in later on this weekend. We'll be live. I'll be live for Twitch. If you guys are looking at this on YouTube, twitch.tv/TheRealTightspot. Knack Attack. What are your plans for the weekend, real quick?
Nothing really. Just normal weekend, groceries. It's gonna be raining a lot, so.
Oh no! Yeah, yeah. I know. I saw from back home some friends. They were at the Lancaster Barnstormers game and it got rained out. So yeah, raining back in PA. It's gonna be a scorcher here in Vegas. I'm not doing much this weekend. I might go see one of the best York, PA bands of all time tomorrow night down on Fremont. Who are they? Knack Attack? Can you name the best York, PA band of all time?
Live?
Huh?
Live?
Live? Is they live?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. Live is playing here in Vegas, and I hope they play Shit Town because that's one of my favorite songs. Remember that song, Nat? You do. Look it up if you haven't. But everybody, thanks for tuning into Tightspot'S Lounge. It's been a pleasure for myself and Knack Attack. Stay sane, watch your movies, stay hydrated. Knack Attack, anything else you want to say real quick?
No, just stay safe, be kind, and we'll get through Saw 5 together.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we love you all. We're gonna take it over to our boy Von Rye. He's playing a little MLB with his A's franchise. Love you guys. Have a good night. Deuces. And tip of a hat, wag of a finger. Yes, I'm Stephen Colbert now on The Daily Show. No, I'm not, but I love you, Stephen Colbert. You're not even going to watch this, Stephen Colbert, but if you did, hey, what's up? But love you guys. See you over Von Rye's chat.